president's book. It contains all of our nation's secrets.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
It's the 4th of July, and to celebrate our great nation, I decided that it was only appropriate to watch the most patriotic film of all time, National Treasure 2: Book of Secrets. If you have ever had a US history teacher in middle school who wanted to be the cool teacher, then chances are that your class probably watched National Treasure in class at some point. As goofy as that movie was, it still took itself somewhat seriously enough to make you feel like there were real stakes to the story. But National Treasure 2, on the other hand, feels like some stuff you would see if you turn on the History Channel at 3 a.m. This movie is complete buffoonery, full of bad acting, bad dialogue, patriotism, numerous plot holes, stupid motivations, completely inaccurate history, and a surprising amount of racism for some reason. Like, seriously, there's way more racism in this movie than I remembered. Guess that makes sense though for a movie that's all about America. Aside from being goofy though, National Treasure is a pretty bad movie, and a lot of its issues are going to be readily apparent once I start breaking this film down, so let's start off with the review. The movie begins with John Wilkes Booth bringing a code that needs to be deciphered to Thomas Gates, Ben Gates' great-great-grandfather. For some reason, he decided to do this right before he assassinates Abraham Lincoln. I don't know why he would do that, but then the bartender kicks everyone out of the bar because the president was shot. Like, I guess the dude was so patriotic that he wanted to grieve alone, so he just forces everyone to get out of the bar for no reason at all. Anyways, after he decodes part of the message that talks about a treasure, Thomas the Train sees a KGC pin on the shirt of the guy that was with Wilkes Booth, and it just starts immediately explaining how that pin means that he is a Knight of the Golden Circle and that he's a traitor to the Union, and he tries to stop him from getting the answer to the code. The guy, Wilkinson, then shoots Thomas, and Thomas tries to burn the piece of paper, but Wilkinson is able to save some of it and runs away. As he's dying, Gates tells his son a riddle, the debt that all men must pay, and then dies. Right off the bat, there are so many things wrong with this opening. For one, why did Wilkes Booth decide to do this right before he was going to assassinate Lincoln? Why did Gates bring his child son with him into a bar? Why did the bartender kick everyone out just because Lincoln was shot? Why did this absolute idiot wear a pin that would give away his status as a traitor to the Union? Dude, just imagine if a Klan member was going to some non-racist guy for help, and then he just wore like his white robe and mask. Like, come on, bro. I know you're trying to rep the squad and all, but maybe just wait until after you get what you need, brother. The movie then jumps to modern day, where Ben Gates is giving a speech about how great his ancestor, Thomas Gates, was, and basically credits him for single-handedly saving the Union because he burned one piece of paper and kept the Confederates from finding this treasure. Ben says that the Confederates would have won the war if they found the treasure, but like, come on, bro. The war was already over at that point, and even if they found this, like, massive treasure, which they would have to go through, like, an insanely complicated trail of puzzles and riddles to even get to it, what would they have really done? Like, sell it and get money? So Ben Gates' dad goes up to give a speech, and out of nowhere, this complete rando just hijacks the event and reveals that his great-great-grandfather was Silas Wilkinson, that dude who shot Thomas Gates. And he has the missing page from John Wilkes Booth's diary, which has Gates' name on it with other conspirators. Wilkinson then says that his grandfather told him that Thomas Gates was the one who organized Lincoln's assassination, and that was why he met with Wilkes Booth on the day that Lincoln was shot. Dude, this whole scene just reminds me of that one Gravity Falls episode where Pacifica Northwest is bragging about her great-grandfather founding Gravity Falls, and then Dipper and Mabel reveal to her that he was actually just some loser who shoveled manure. Like, that is actually legitimately what happens in this scene. Now, most normal people would literally not care if some ancestor of theirs 150 years removed from them helped to kill Lincoln. In fact, it would probably make for a neat personal fun fact when you're out with friends. But Patrick Gates is so patriotic that he legit goes full schizo mode when he finds out about this. Like, dude goes into a depressive stupor trying to find some sort of proof to refute this claim. Nobody but history-obsessed patriots would actually care about this, but unfortunately for us, Patrick is a history-obsessed patriot. So he actually has like a complete meltdown about it, and he drops this wonderful line.
This isn't some garbage from a history book. My grandfather told me this story himself. I saw the truth of it in his eyes.
I'm sorry, sir.
What kind of verifiable evidence is this, dude? Your Honor, my client is innocent, and I know because I saw the truth in his eyes. Yeah, try using that one in court, bro. Anyways, Ben feels bad that his dad is salty, so he goes to find Riley, and I can literally summarize Riley's whole character in this movie in one sentence. Riley is a loser who can't get anyone to read his books, and he's a mega virgin. Like, bro is unironically pulling up to the AP history exam in a virginity rock sweatshirt, and to be fair, at least he's actually living out the lifestyle. His fancy car gets towed because of taxes, and Ben meets him in front of his apartment. He needs Riley's help to break into his old mansion because Abigail kicked him out because they were having like couples problems, but he needs her badge to get access to the Booth Diary page. This is the first of many serious crimes that will be committed, all in the effort to simply prove that some guy who's been dead for over 150 years wasn't working with John Wilkes Booth. This has to be one of the dumbest motivations for any character in any movie ever. Nobody cares, bro. Why are you breaking into people's homes and risking jail time just to prove that your great-great-grandpapa wasn't a bad guy? Only a true patriot would care this much about their American lineage. Abigail comes back home and she's dating some guy that works at the White House, and she's mad that they broke in, but Ben agrees to give her some old coffee tables, and that's enough to convince her to help them somehow. Yeah, nobody's motivations in this movie makes any sense. They find a partial cipher on the back of the page and start to crack it. They're having a lot of trouble, so Ben goes to ask his dad if there was any more to the story of Thomas Gates's last moments. Patrick randomly just now remembers a part of the story that he had never told Ben before, which was the last words of Thomas Gates, the debt that all men pay, which is death. I'm sorry, bro. Ain't no way Patrick Starr here just forgot to mention the last words of his great-grandfather every other time he told the story. That was like one of the central points to the story. There's no way you would just forget to mention the very last words your great-grandfather spoke until right now. Anyways, they crack the cipher and it leads them to the Statue of Liberty in Paris. Riley flies a drone all around it, looking for clues like he's a part of the Scooby-Doo gang, and some bicycle cops pull up and ask them to stop. But Ben distracts them by talking about US and France history, and then they just instantly become his friends because he was an American and he knew basic French history. Riley finds some French writing on the torch of the statue, and Ben's new best friends translate it for them, which leads them to the Resolute desks, one of which is in London and one of which is in the White House. Back in the States, Patrick Gates is getting back home when Mitch Wilkinson and his goons murk him and then clone his phone over to another phone so that whenever he gets a call or a text, they can hear it and see it too. Okay. This next part absolutely cracks me up. So Patrick calls Ben in London and tells him that he was brutally attacked and that the house was broken into. Like any reasonable, loving son, Ben immediately tells him to call the police and that he will drop his entire mission right now to go make sure that his elderly father that just got assaulted is all right. Now, patriotic Patrick obviously tells Ben that he's fine and he wants him to continue to try to find the treasure and prove Thomas Gates' innocence, but instead of shutting that down and doing the right thing, which is to make sure that his dad, who he loves, is all right after such a scary incident, Ben gives absolutely no pushback and just agrees to not check in on him at all?
Last night, I was attacked.
Call the police. I'm coming home.
They didn't take anything. And besides, I'm fine.
Okay.
Okay? Okay?
Okay.
Your 70-something-year-old fragile father was just beaten to a bloody pulp in his house, and all you have to say is okay? Like, dude just moves on from this like it was nothing. Nobody ever comes back to this break-in at any point in the movie, or questions why somebody would break in but not steal anything, and it's so dumb. Ben says okay in the same tone of speech that I would have had if my mom told me that she was going out with her friends later that night. Like, bro was so indifferent to his father being attacked in his own home. Why? Put the treasure hunting and clearing Thomas Gates' name aside for a bit and check in on your dad. This would be a no-brainer to most normal people. But alas, we have to remember that the Gates family is made up of the most patriotic patriots, and they'll do anything to preserve their American honor. So Ben and Riley go to Buckingham Palace, where one of the Resolute desks are located, and Riley goes into a bathroom stall and gets some kind of crazy tech setup that allows him to hack into the palace security system. He also says this:
Okay, it's tea time, chaps.
Thanks for being a wee bit racist, Riley. I wonder if anyone else will be unnecessarily and overtly racist in this scene. Abigail randomly shows up and says Patrick called her and told her to meet Ben here because he had a clue, so I guess she just dropped everything she was doing and flew all the way out to London on an immediate notice just to help Ben out because his dad said so. Wow. Nobody makes sense in this movie, bro. Riley tells Ben that they want to make a scene, so Ben starts getting into a pretend super loud argument with Abigail and starts acting like a complete insane psychopath. For some reason, part of Ben's insanity is to just be really racist for some reason. Like, seriously, he just turns super racist to these kind British officers for no reason.
You and your missus take it outside.
Oh, now look what you've done. You brought the little Barbies down on us.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello.
Just a nip. Just pop down to the pub for a pint. Bit of all right. Bubbles and squeak. Smoked eel pie. Sir?
Haggis! That's it! I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts! Here they are, standing in a row!
Anyways, they get detained, but Riley hacks the door so they can escape and explore the non-public areas of the palace and get to the Resolute desk. They find out that the drawers can be opened in a certain order to open a secret compartment in the desk where there is a slab with native writing on it. Riley causes a fire alarm so Ben and Abigail can escape, and the security team figures out that someone is hacking them from the bathroom. The guards burst into the bathroom and kick down one of the doors to a stall and just find some random guy taking a dump. Why did this guard keep his gun trained on this dude when he clearly wasn't the guy they were after? Bro was just taking one, brother, like, put the gun down. Ben, Riley, and Abigail are running on the street to their car and they spot Mitch following them. So Mitch has his goons just pull out their guns in broad daylight and try to kill Ben so they can get the wooden slab with the native writing on it. What ensues is the most exciting, compelling scene in the movie, an intense car chase throughout London, but it feels kind of out of place considering the fact that for the first 40 minutes of this movie, the closest thing we had to excitement and action was when we got a brief struggle between Thomas Gates and Silas Wilkinson, and Patrick Gates being hit like one time on the back of the head. Then, all of a sudden, we go from that to this giant Jason Bourne-esque action set piece on the streets of London where there's car crashes and gun shooting. It sort of feels out of place because nothing else in the movie even comes close to this intense chase sequence, but it was one of my favorite parts of the movie, and for the most part, it was pretty well executed, so I give this goofy movie credit here. Ben realizes that Mitch won't stop until he gets the plank, so he runs a red light, gets Riley to hack into the camera that took his traffic violation picture so that they can read the writing on the plank, and then throws the plank into the water. Mitch and his men stop chasing them to get the plank. They bring the wooden plank to Patrick, and he recognizes one symbol that means City of Gold, but they need to bring the plank to an expert who can translate it. And apparently, Ben Gates' mom is one of the best in the world when it comes to ancient Native American languages, so they go to her. Now, Patrick and Emily, Ben's mom, got like divorced a long time ago, and they're not on good terms, but Ben just forces his dad to come with him because, well, actually, he doesn't give a reason. He's kind of just like, you're coming with me, Dad. And his dad is like, no, Ben, I'm not. And then Ben is like, nah, I'm forcing you to. So yeah, he goes with them and they see Emily. She translates it, but finds out that they only have half of the code. The other half is in the other Resolute desk, which is the desk in the Oval Office. So Ben and the gang go to the White House during an Easter egg hunting event, and they use Abigail's simp fake boyfriend who works there to get into the Oval Office. He lets them in because he's literally just the simp. That's actually the only reason why he lets them into the Oval Office, the president's office. Unauthorized people in there. Yeah. What a simp. Ben needs Abigail to distract this guy so he can put in the desk combination and unlock the secret compartment, so she distracts him because he's a simp. Again. Ben opens the compartment, but the plank is gone, and there's just a stamp of an eagle holding a scroll, which Riley somehow knows exactly what this symbol is for. So you may remember that the name of the movie is National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets, and it's called that because, and I'm not joking when I say this, but apparently there is this top secret book that only the president has access to that has all of America's greatest secrets in it. Yeah, this really feels like a concept I would have come up with when I was 7 years old, bro. Why would there be a secret president's book? Like, why is the president the only one who can read it? That seems really unnecessary and arbitrary. Like, dude, imagine if this book really existed and Donald J. Trump got to read it and, like, add to this book. Bro would have been like, I have this book. It's a book that only the presidents can look at, and it has all of the nation's greatest secrets. If I get reelected, I will tell everyone what is in the book. That was, wow, a really bad Donald Trump impression. Forgive me. Hey, wait a sec. Why would the government leave this stamp here to let people know that the plank was archived in the president's book? If it's such a secret book, then why just leave stamps around letting people know, hey, this thing can only be found in the president's secret book? Oh, but wait, the book, it doesn't actually exist though. Like, if you don't want people to find out about the book, then why leave stamps advertising the book? Like... Why am I expecting logic from a movie that consists of, like, history patriots trying to clear their great-grandfather's name by finding treasure from Native Americans with, like, using books that only the president can read for some reason? I don't know why I'm expecting any logic from this movie. Anyways, the group has to figure out how they're going to get access to this book that literally only the president knows where it's like at. So Ben comes up with the brilliant idea to kidnap the president of the United States and force him to tell them where the book is. It is at this point that I would like to remind everyone in the audience here the motivations for this movie. Ben Gates, at this point, does not really care about the treasure. The main reason he is searching for this treasure is just to prove that there was a treasure that Thomas Gates tried to stop the Confederates from finding. In an earlier scene too, Mitch reveals that the reason he wants to find the treasure is to go down in history and for the Wilkinson family to be remembered for finding it. But he doesn't even really care about the treasure either. So let me get this all straight. Ben Gates and his friends are risking a life sentence in prison for kidnapping the President of the United States of America just to prove that Thomas Gates wasn't racist and didn't work with, like, John Wilkes Booth. What? And even worse, Mitch is committing international crimes like breaking into houses, assaulting the elderly, and having shootouts in broad daylight on the streets of London just to be like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and go down in history? Stupid. All of these goons are just absolutely stupid. Who cares this much about these things, bro? I mean, sure, like, a lot of people wanted to be remembered in, like, history, and yeah, it kind of sucks that people believe lies about your great-great-grandfather that died in 1865, but is it really this important? This important, bro? Like, kidnapping the president important? These people are all idiots. Alright, so the film has gone on too long without being racist, so the next scene has the White House press team scrambling to find a new hotel for the president's birthday because the one they had originally booked was apparently used for Klan meetings way back in the day, so they have to try to find a new hotel. Ben, Riley, and Patrick lie about the other hotels being booked and stuff, so that they have to go to the last hotel left, Mount Vernon. We then get introduced to Mr. President himself, and oh my goodness, Squidward, this dude's opening scene is him singing a country song. This dude was for sure a Republican, bro. I mean, probably used to attend those Klan meetings back at the hotel. Okay, jokes aside, Ben breaks into the party and shows the president old architecture plans for Mount Vernon and this, like, supposed secret passageway that they can explore. And the president just gets super fascinated by it for no reason and completely abandons his own birthday party to go play fake treasure hunter with Ben. The Secret Service follows them. The president, for some reason, tells them to leave him alone with Ben. They, for some reason, actually listen to him, and Ben gets to kidnap the president. I'm sorry. I don't care if the president himself told the Secret Service to back off. Ain't no way that they're just gonna leave the president alone, bro. That's just stupid. While in the passageways, Ben asks the president about the secret book. The president tells him that it doesn't exist and that a secret book about the nation's greatest secrets that only the president can look at is stupid. Agreed. But then, like 15 seconds later, he just admits that it exists, tells Ben exactly where it is, and tells Ben that he can't protect him and that the entire US federal government is going to be chasing after Ben as a wanted criminal because he kidnapped the president. Wait, why can't you just, like, tell them, oh, hey, we're exploring this passageway and then the door closed accidentally on us, but Ben did not try to kidnap me, it was just bad luck. Like, I'm sure if you would have said that, then they probably would have just backed off and not tried to, like, arrest Ben. Yeah, I mean, maybe he just can't say that for some reason. He's definitely not just going to say that later in the movie when he could have said it now and saved Ben a lot of trouble. Right? They go to the Library of Congress, find the book, and find a picture of the second wooden plank, and then take a picture of that picture. They then send that picture to Patrick and tell him to give it to Emily. Yeah, Ben, just send your divorced dad to go ask a favor from the one woman on planet Earth who hates him the most. Brilliant idea. But before Patrick gets there, Mitch stops by Emily's place and demands that she translates this language for him and tells her to not translate it for Patrick and get rid of him. He threatens Patrick's life. So then Emily is really mean to Patrick and gives a fake clue that she'll know he'll be able to spot out or something like that, and Mitch kidnaps Emily. Dang, Mitch. Is your life and your family's name really so pathetic that you have to resort to felony crimes just to try to go down in history for, like, finding this treasure? And wait a second, you're, like, completely cheating too, bro. Ben Gates is the one finding all of the clues. You're not even the one who's actually doing anything. This motivation makes no sense. If your plan is to go down in history for something that you didn't even do, then why are you so focused on doing this treasure hunt? Like, if your goal is to make history, there are probably other ways you could fake doing things and not try to kill people or kidnap people to accomplish that. Mitch's motivation is just really dumb, almost as dumb as trying to prove your great-great ancestor is innocent by finding a treasure to do that. I hate all the motivations in this movie, bro. So they go to Mount Rushmore to find the next clue to the City of Gold because this movie needs to be more patriotic, and Ben and his friends are there. Apparently, there used to be markings on the mountain that led to the treasure, but FDR destroyed the markings by building Rushmore in an attempt to stop anyone from finding the treasure, which is completely stupid. But okay, you know what, okay, for this movie it makes sense. And Mitch has this letter from Queen Victoria that was passed down in the Wilkinson family that describes the marks that used to be on the mountain that can lead them to the treasure. So now they have to work with Mitch. They agree to let Mitch help them find the treasure if his goons stay back and he doesn't bring his pew-pew thingy. And he agrees because he's super obsessed with making history for being one of the people that found this ancient Native American treasure. So the gang heads to these random rocks nearby because I guess that's where the letter led them, and some clue from Queen Victoria says something about, like, rain leading the way, so they wet the rocks with water bottles. And come on, bro. Can I just take a moment to applaud the absolute idiocy of this action? I mean, look how much surface area they have to cover here. This rock is huge, and they just have these tiny water bottles, all of which combined might be able to cover like 1% of this rock surface area. But of course, since we lost logic a long time ago in this movie, they happen to pour water on the right spot that reveals the clue to the treasure. Ben has to stick his hand in some Native American glory hole and pull some kind of lever that triggers some sort of secret door on another rock. And wait, what the heck? You're telling me that Native Americans built this in like the 1600s? What did they use? Redstone? How did they construct this? How does pulling something here cause these rocks to fall down? This is not making any sense. Who were these architects, bro? The aliens? I don't know, dude. We're playing Minecraft at this point. Whatever. They go inside the secret room with all this old stuff in it, and Ben explains how this structure right here holds some kind of weight that keeps the door open. So, of course, Riley, the genius virgin, touches a rope that is hundreds of years old, and it snaps, causing the door to close and for the group to get trapped. No wonder dude's defining characteristic is being a virgin. He just fumbles everything he touches, bro. Oh, can I mention really quick that Mitch helps Riley up and asks if he's okay, and he's not even like a little mad that Riley just potentially trapped them all in this room with no escape and they might die here. Mitchell, you were trying to assassinate these guys in broad daylight just like a few days ago. You assaulted Ben's dad and threatened his mother's life. Why are you just all like buddy-buddy with them now? I mean, Mitch went from being the main villain trying to kill the team to their best friend faster than a Fast and Furious bad guy. Dude is just a normal good guy now, and they haven't even found the treasure yet. So, like, why is he just being a nice guy now? It doesn't make any sense. Anyways, Ben, Riley, Mitch, and Abigail fall into this, like, Scooby-Doo trap, and they fall onto an elaborate balancing platform where each of them has to balance their weight by standing on a corner so they don't all just fall to their deaths. I will admit that this is a cool idea, which leads to a tense scene where Mitch forces the group to let him escape first. But again, dude, how did the Native Americans in, like, the 1600s build this thing? I mean, this platform feels like it was straight out of a Saw trap. I really can't see how some dudes with no technology who lived over 400 years ago made this thing. So, using some clever balancing tricks, the group all makes it out and makes it to the treasure room. They act like they can't see anything, even though we totally can. And Ben lights these two short fire light things, and then that suddenly causes them to be able to see everything in the room somehow. Yeah, I don't think this is enough to light up the whole room, pal. So they do some video game stuff to make the water level drop, and underneath is the lost city of gold. Patrick and Emily also just somehow stumble into this room through whatever way they took, which is stupid and convenient, but who cares at this point? And Mitch drops this line.
I'm sorry I smeared your great-great-granddaddy's good name. It seemed like the only way to get you in on the hunt.
Dude, are you drunk, brother? Are you daft? Are you an imbecile? Did you just hear yourself speaking? So you're telling me that the only way you thought you could get the world-renowned treasure hunter to help you find a treasure was to lie about his great-grandfather, frame him for killing Abraham Lincoln, and banking on him and his dad caring so much about his great-great-grandfather's legacy that they would just, like, commit several national and international crimes just to lead you to this treasure? Boy, Ben Gates is a treasure hunter. He has a wrench in his pocket anytime someone even mentions some kind of patriotic secret treasure within a 50-mile radius of him. Why on God's green earth would you not just ask this ancient history treasure enthusiast to simply just help you find this treasure? Why did you almost have to kill him before he even found it? Why did you commit various crimes that could land you in prison for a long time just to force Ben to find this treasure for you, when in reality he would have most likely just worked with you no problem if you had just asked him for help? Why are you so stupid, Mitch? By the way, sorry to any people watching this who have the name Mitch. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to this guy. That's it, let's just finish this stupid movie. So, out of nowhere, the whole room just starts to get flooded, and it's literally for no reason. Virgin Riley didn't even touch anything this time, it just actually happens by random. So the group has to find a way out, and they find this exit tunnel, but someone has to hold the door open, so one of them won't be able to escape. Mitch pulls out a knife and threatens to kill Abigail if Ben doesn't stay, so Ben graciously volunteers. But as his family and friends get pushed out by the current into the next room, a freak accident happens and Ben gets flung from his position and tossed by the current right next to the door. Mitch is now the only one who can hold the door open, and he tells Ben to let the world know that he found the treasure, which is a complete lie. Like, he didn't do anything, he just like copied off Ben's homework essentially, and then he sacrifices himself to help Ben and the others escape. Bro, I'm so glad Mitch died. Like, serves him right for being this delusional about making history for his family's namesake. Anyways, Ben calls his FBI friend, tells him that they found the city of gold, and then this dude tells him that it doesn't matter because they committed a federal crime. But that's really dumb, because in the first movie, Ben committed several crimes, and they just let him go because apparently
someone's got to go to prison, man.
Well, if you've got a helicopter, I think I can help with that.
Yeah, that's how the legal system works. So Ben and his gang get brought into some random airplane hangar, and then the president is just posing there like he's doing a photo shoot for Playgirl magazine. The president says that Ben didn't kidnap him and that the door closed accidentally on them and Ben saved his life. But if he said that, then why did the FBI try to catch Ben back in DC? Did the president say, oh no, Ben kidnapped me at first, and then after they found the treasure, change his story to, oh, actually Ben Ben was just exploring with me and then the door closed by itself, and then he helped me escape. Like, which one is it, dude? If he was going to say that it was an accident, then why did he just not say that from the beginning? That would have made things a whole lot easier for Ben. So why do you have his back now, but earlier you stuck the entire federal government after him? Stupidity, bro. Ben tells the president to also credit Mitch Wilkinson for the discovery, and like, boo, bro, boo. That guy attacked your dad, threatened your mom's life, and almost killed you and your friends, Ben. Why are you just like gassing him up right now, bro? Because he helped you escape so that you could tell other people that he was the one who found the treasure? Like, it does not make any sense. Anyways, they go back to the City of Gold, and Riley gets recognized by some random cute girl for once. So his really emotionally riveting saga of deep, impactful character development, of going from a virgin to maybe not a virgin anymore, finally comes to an end. Ben and Abigail end up getting back together, and everyone is nice and dandy as the movie comes to an end. When the movie ends, all the names in the credits are super fancy, old-timey names. Like, bro, some of these dudes had to be straight out of the 1800s with names like this. Like, no wonder these bros were the ones writing and producing this movie, dude. It makes a lot of sense. But yeah, that was National Treasure, Book of Secrets, a really cheesy, silly action-adventure treasure hunting movie that's pretty cool for history nerds and not really for anyone else. Let me know what you all thought about it in the comments, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Have a happy 4th of July.